front of you and fill in all the available space. Thank you for touring the Kilamanjaro. When it comes to safaris, we go wide.
One day, which means let's go. And jumbo, everyone, welcome to the Kilamanjaro Safaris. I'll be your guide here today, Sebastian, as we make our way out into the reserve. Brought a couple of safety reminders before we fully head out. Make sure we're staying seated at all times, keeping our hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the vehicle as we move along here today. We're going to let our friends enter into the reserve first, and it will be our turn in just a moment. While we're waiting, though, how many of my friends have actually been on the Kilamanjaro Safaris before? Oh, quite a few of you. Welcome back, my friends. I'm so glad you guys decided to get stuck with us again. For any of my friends joining for the first time ever, welcome to the Kilamanjaro Safaris. Welcome, my friend. I'm so glad you decided to come here to join in and have fun with these animals. Just so y'all know, these animals we're about to see are wild animals. So while we are observing them or while we are taking photos of them, we don't want to call them towards us. That actually might scare them away. But don't worry about that. I'll try to get us the best view possible. We're going to wait for one final bit of clearance. When that lantern flashes again, we'll be good to start our safari. Should be going off any moment now. I said it should be going off any moment now. Well, it's been a great 10 seconds with y'all, but I think it's time to turn around. What do you think? No? I guess we could try one more time, so how about now, please? Come on guys, a big please. Please! And there we go, and it looks like we're good to start our 2-week adventure here in the Little Itsuri Forest, which is home to many animals use camouflage as their main form of defense. Just keep an eye on the bushes and tree lines as we go along. It'll be very difficult at first to find these animals, but once you know what to look out for, it ain't gonna be too tough. On the right hand side, we can already see one of them. That is the okapi. Does anyone know what that animal looks like? Zebra. You're right, it looks like a zebra, doesn't it? However, even though it looks like a zebra, it's not even related to it. Not even the slightest. It is the only living relative of the giraffe. They were known about by locals for a long time, but it wasn't until 1901 that they were finally discovered by Westerners, thinking them to be myths. And congratulations, everyone. That is probably one of the harder animals to find. Not only does their dark coat actually let them blend in with the darkness around them, but they also are very shy, so they attempt to avoid us as much as possible. So this means finding these animals might be a little easier now. Like seeing a black and white bird on top of the hill called the saddle-billed stork. They have a wingspan of 7 to 9 feet in length and will mate for life, foraging and nesting together in pairs. They've also been known to fight off other pairs of saddle-billed stork together as well. How romantic. I'm hoping I can find some other smaller animals for y'all. Left-hand side over here we have not enough, but if we look in the next area, there's an equal amount of nothing. It's kind of weird, but I'm not going to give up just yet. I'm pretty sure there's something we're missing around here. We're going to take a look to the right, and then to the left. But up there, sorry for the quick stop, but do you guys see that? Yep. Big, massive gray? That's a black rhino. It's actually one of these smaller subspecies of rhinos, only weighing around 3,000 pounds. They also have a prehensile lip that helps browse for any food and vegetation out here as well. Along with the black rhino, we can also see some bongos up there, a very shy and reclusive antelope, so good at hiding, they get the nickname the ghost of the forest, along with the greater kudu, tallest antelope in Africa. They'll hide in the bushes to evade predators. And we've got some pretty good luck so far, and I think we can continue that luck into the Safi River, home to many aquatic animals. Keep your eyes on the banks and in the river below us for anything that might be lurking just beneath. But we have to be careful. The animals around here do tend to be a little more territorial and or aggressive. And as we get a little closer, it looks like that first animal we're about to encounter down here is the pink-backed pelicans. One of 8 pelican species in the world. They get their name from their feathers turning a pink color during mating season. But we didn't come here just for pelicans, right? I love these animals, but we want to see something bigger. So, let's take a look around the water. Look for shadows under the water or heads popping out of the water. There's nothing on the right, so let's take a look at the left-hand side for the hippos. They will stay underneath the water for the majority of the day, spending 7 to 8 minutes at a time completely submerged. These animals are territorial and will defend these areas with their 18-inch incisors. However, I did promise you guys something scary, and even though these animals are dangerous, they're just so cute, aren't they? So, let's move ahead and try to find another animal. Hopefully this one is a little more toothy. Okay. We've been driving down the side of the Safi River for a couple of hours now, but I think we're far enough to find the next animal. There are some hippos down here on the left-hand side. You might see a divot in one of them. Don't worry about that. That's just a medical procedure. But right over there, we have the Nile crocodiles. Some of the largest crocodiles in the world, and they are opportunistic eaters, meaning anything that comes their path, they're most likely going to try to eat it. Now they're not all that bad, as the Nile crocodiles will also put their eggs inside of their mouths and roll them around to help them hatch. I don't know about you all, but that sounds like grade A parenting in my opinion. And a lot of the animals we found here are unfortunately endangered due to deforestation. However, there are ways we can prevent this. Just by using less paper and recycling, we can ensure that the habitats, just like the ones we're traveling through right now, will stay intact for the animals up inside of them. Speaking of trees, it looks like we're coming up to a big tree over here called a baobab tree. It may look like it's upside down, but it's really just leafless. And it will stay leafless just like that for the majority of the year, holding water on the inside of its trunk to survive throughout droughts. I could go on and on about the baobab tree, but we're not going to. Instead, we're going to save some facts for later. For right now, this tree is just a really good indication that we are heading directly into the savannah. And you guys know, it's home to a lot of the animals in our spotting guide, so get your cameras out and ready. We might get really close to a lot of recognizable animals. Here's the plan. We're going to hit some of the hot spots that I know the animals like to hang out. We're starting off with that dirt patch down there. Some animals will actually go up to those dirt patches to lay down in it since it's very soft, or even to roll around in it because it cleans themselves off. Take a look already. We can see our first animal, the Hartman's Mountain Zebra, on the left over here. Now, with the Hartman's Mountain Zebra, I have a question. Are they white with black stripes or black with white stripes? And remember, it can only be one of them.
White with white stripes. Black stripes. Yeah. White with black stripes.
Black with white stripes. I don't know.
So the Hartman's Mountain Zebra is going to be black with white stripes. Great job, my friends. And we know this by looking at their nose. They have a black nose with white stripes originating from the bridge of their nose. Cool thing is, we don't even know why they have them. It's only a theory that they have those stripes to confuse their predators or to hide their numbers. We even have some babies down here. Take a look. There's two of them, one by themselves over there and one right next to mom. They're both half siblings. Now there are some other animals out there in the distance, but we're going to talk about those in a little bit. For right now, I want to check out the rocks coming up on the left-hand side. Some animals will like to hide next to those rocks or underneath them to get away from the sun, or even possibly to hide away from predators. But since it's not really that hot right now, it's actually quite cold, I'd imagine that some animals are trying to find some sun to warm up. As you see, lots of shade. So let's take a look at the sunlight over there, as I do see an animal already. It's laying down, so it's kind of hard to see, but there is a dog that is kind of tan and black and white. I see two of them laying down so far. These are painted dogs, and they're some of the most proficient hunters in the savannah, chasing down their prey and wearing them out before catching them. That coat that you see is unique to every single one of them, truly earning them that name, the painted dog. And these animals are still related to dogs. They're actually not hyenas. Hyenas are related to cats. Now, there's also the Ankoli cattle. Their horns grow up to 3 to 4 feet in length and are hollow on the inside with a honeycomb structure. May look like they have those horns for defense, but they're instead used to regulate their body temperatures. Animal in the back is a sable antelope. A very tenacious animal as they prefer to fight off their predators rather than run away from them. And then there's the Patterson's eland coming up on the right-hand side, and they are the largest antelope in the world. They have a unique trait to them with grass and leaves on their horns to attract any mates. That almost resembles a flower crown when they do that. And the reason why I'm not stopping for these specific animals is because I do want to stop for some of the bigger ones that we all know and love. Because if you guys saw earlier, there was a giraffe out there just a second ago. Yep, right there. Take a look. The Maasai giraffe, tallest animal in the world, reaching upwards of 18 to 20 feet in height. They can also reach speeds of 35 miles per hour, but not a lot of predators like to go after them, since they have a very powerful kick that even lions are afraid of, so they're rarely hunted. That animal you saw running out the distance are wildebeest, second most densely populated mammal in the world, only second to us humans. They do migrate for around 500 to 1,000 miles, with their migrations being able to see from across the savannah. And you guys actually know that they're known for stampeding. However, they're not stampeding over there, they're actually just playing. And I think we want to stop for this one right here, right? This might be a better photo than the other one out there. Let's stop right here. May not be the best angle, but guys, that is amazing.
Oh, look. Hi,
We do have to keep up, my friends, though, so we have to pass by in a moment. And what a good view.
He's so cute. That one's cute.
There's one more animal around here, everyone.
Thank you, Michael.
Take a look on the horizon in front of us. There's a very tiny antelope called a springbok. Right over there, by the big bush. Springbok actually get their name from their ability to spring into the air to avoid predators, jumping over 6 feet in the air and 13 feet across. They can do all of that while running up to 50 to 60 miles per hour, making them the second fastest land mammal in the world. And we've seen our fair share of animals around here, ranging all the way from the very tall Maasai giraffe to the very small springbok. But there is something concerning. Lots of these trees that have been ripped to shreds by something. I can tell you right now, a human did not do that. Whatever caused that must have been huge. Normally we take the pathway on the right-hand side to continue on, but after what we just saw, I think we should go to the left. Lots of other trees that have been ripped to shreds by something, all leading up to this big one that was snapped in half. Tell me, what animal could have done this? You guys already know. It is going to be the African elephant that did this. And hopefully we can find one around here soon. But if there is an African elephant, these things aren't hard to miss. Where did it go? Guess we'll have to search a little bit more for that animal. Oh, you saw it? Let's get around the corner. Maybe we get a better view of it. Yeah, right there. And we are lucky that he's over there on the right-hand side because we gotta head over to that ravine anyway since we went down this pathway. Here's the plan. Let's get to the other side, pass by the elephant one more time, and then head over to the ravine to see what else is waiting for us. It is not that hard either. All we really gotta do is pass over this road on the right-hand side, and we'll be home free. Okay, well, never mind. We're not going down that way. Instead, let's go to the left. But this is a little bit of a problem, my friends. I've never driven down this road before. Should be fine. As long as we don't pass over any old bridges, I think we'll be okay. Besides, what's the worst that could happen? Oh, well, it's not that bad. Besides, we're not afraid of this bridge, are we? No. Exactly. So, let's take this bridge nice and easy. Don't worry, guys. just a feeling of really old woodcracker beneath us. But I think we can make it. See? We just made it. Not too bad. And not only that, but it led us to something else. Right over here, lots of red clay missing from the side of the wall. Something I do know is that elephants will eat this stuff to gain minerals and nutrients they don't normally get from day-to-day life. However, anything could have done that. I'm going to look for something a little more significant. Something like tusk marks. The right-hand side and left-hand side. Lots of them too. I think this must mean 100% we are going to see the elephants again. Oh, there's some more out there. Do you see that? Now, it does make sense why we see the elephants here. This area is rich in a lot of dirt, grass, and mud. They're going to take that stuff and throw it onto their backs and onto their bodies to protect their skin from the sun like sunscreen. Something else that's attracting the elephant to the area is something we've already talked about. Does anything look familiar out there?
Tree.
Yes.
Exactly, the tree. That's another baobab tree. Now, like I said in the beginning, they are filled with water, and the elephants know this. So what they're going to do is ram their tusks inside of that tree to access the water inside. Because of this, the baobab tree sometimes gets the nickname, the Tree of Life. Take a look at these elephants. Now this time we're going to stop for them because that's a good view.
He's so good. Guys, look at him. Look at him.
Can't stay for too long though. Hey, but not to worry. This area being so rich in mud is a good thing because other animals will be attracted to it too, like rhinos. They'll roll around in the mud to protect their skin, but while some animals will roll around in the mud or even to protect or cool off, some other animals will use the mud to build their homes. Like with the greater flamingos using it to build their nests. They will actually incubate their eggs in these nests, but when they hatch, they don't hatch with pink feathers. They'll hatch with gray feathers.
Take a picture of some.
Does anyone know how they get their pink feathers?
Shrimp. Eating shrimp.
That's right, it's going to be from eating shrimp. Little tiny shrimp that is rich in something called beta-carotene that will give them that pink color to their feathers. And some of you guys may even know what type of shrimp they eat. It's called brine shrimp, otherwise known as sea monkeys.
I know that. I saw them on wildcats.
But now I'm going to need everybody's help. Pretty soon we're going to be entering into a very dense area of the savannah. If you see any animals here, just point them out and let me know. We'll try to talk about them. So let's see what's around the corner. It does look like we have a whole bunch of...
Ostrich!
Got it, that's right, the ostrich. Largest and heaviest bird in the world, and they produce the largest eggs. Their eggs being so strong that if you were to stand on top of them, they wouldn't even break. I think we can get closer to it, right? Let's try to get a little closer. Oh, don't worry about it chasing us. There's nothing on us right now that we have that's going to be too interested in. There's actually some more ostrich along with something else back there. Alright, those are the rhinos. The white rhinos specifically. They get their name from a misunderstanding of the Afrikaans word white. W-I-T-E, meaning wide. Because they do have a very wide and flat lifted up and graze on grass. But I did promise you guys getting a little closer to the ostrich, so let's get a better view of her. Wait a second. I know this area. Oh, great. We gotta be careful, everyone. I didn't realize this yet, but we're smack down in the middle of predator hunting territory. Just keep an eye out for those animals. We do want to find them before they find us. Oh, you guys see something? Oh, I think you're right, That is a cheetah. Fastest land mammal in the world, reaching upwards of 60 to 70 miles per hour. They also have a black line that runs underneath their eyes that will protect their eyes from the sun in order to reduce glare. And fun fact, the cheetah is the largest cat that still has the ability to meow. But we're going to be leaving predator hunting territory now, so I don't think we're going to see much from this point on, but I'll try my best to find out what animal is coming up ahead next. A really good thing to try to figure out what's happening is really looking at the environment around us. Right up there on the right hand side, we do have another white rhino. Lots of good hiding spots for the rhinos around here as well. There we have the water buck as well, a very strange antelope that prefers to stay close to a water source and not move too far away from it. Kind of weird that they're all the way out here, but I'm assuming there might be a water source nearby where they can really stick around. But that might be a little more interesting. Look at that coming up ahead. There are burrows, lots of them. We'll see if there's an animal living in these burrows or not, but we should see them coming up pretty soon.
There's this another safari.
Oh, yep, right there. Everyone look on the left-hand side through the bushes. You're gonna see some very familiar animals sitting on top of the last burrow. All the way to the left-hand side if you don't see it. You're right. Those are warthogs. They're going to live in the burrows that you see underneath them, but they most likely stole these burrows away from another animal. They have the capability of making their own burrows, but they like to steal them for some reason. And their tusks are razor sharp, so it's not an animal you want to get into a fight with. So just like I like to say, it's best not to get into a beef with pork. Let's take a look at our friend, the water buck on the right-hand side. Getting real close to us, too. Oh, we're not out of danger. Don't worry. They're very skittish. I don't really see them coming up to us, so that's a really rare sight. I don't want to stay close to her so much, though, because it might scare her away from us in the future, so just pass her by. But what a great looking animal. But there's one more thing that I want to show you all. Right-hand side, directly on the floor. Those are ostrich eggs. Largest eggs in the world, like before. Each one of those eggs weighs around 3 pounds.
Oh my god, Mom, those are the biggest eggs.
But now let's head into our final part of our safari, Magadi Glen, which is home to one of our farmers that helps us with our conservation efforts. We'll swing by and see what they're doing to help us out. I do think we're going to see one of our cutest conservation efforts around, called the Nigerian dwarf goat. A manageable livestock to have because this is going to be the biggest size they'll ever get. They also produce a sweet milk that the farmer can sell that is very nutritious. It's just another way we're trying to conserve our size for the animals that live around us. The conservation does not have to end here. We can always do our part when it comes to it. Whether it be recycling old electronic devices, using less paper, or even teaching our friends and families about the animals we saw here today, we can ensure they will all stay with us for many years to come. But now that we are leaving Magadi Glen, we will be heading back to Harambe Village, which unfortunately means our safari is coming to an end. But this does not mean your journey has to end with us. If you want to see some more animals we're able to see out here today and learn more about conservation, head to Rafiki's Planet Watch where we have a petting zoo where you can see more of those Nigerian dwarf goats, or head over to Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail where we have animals like the meerkats, naked mole rats, an underwater viewing area of the hippos, and as the name would imply, the gorillas. For any of my friends on board that are wilderness explorers, you can always pick up your badge as soon as you exit out. All you have to do is let them know you were on this simple ride. That is the SIMBA-1. You'll get your badge. But it has been a very long week down here at the Kilamanjaro Safaris, and I do hope that you all enjoyed it. Before we reach the unload area though, make sure we are gathering all of our belongings before exiting out. Look at the seats beside you and the floor beneath you. Parents, make sure we have our kids, and kids, this is very important. Make sure we have our parents. We'll be ready to go. But out here in Harambe, we don't like to say goodbye. Honestly, it's just way too sad and way too final, so instead, we like to say Kwa Harini, which means to go well. And I do hope that you all go well and go wild out there into Harambe. Hopefully the animals we found here today were able to inspire you just like they inspired me. So for the last and final time for all of my friends on board, Kwa Harini. Go well go wild, and I do hope that you all have a great day out here in Animal